in this game, you have your schoolmates, you have your village relations, you have all kinds of manner of people. There are those who will mean well for you, there are those who do not mean well for you. Now, you just go to the office, somebody now comes, yes, he has tried to support you, but must you, must you be his name? Why not try now to put yourself and let people know that it is you. Yes, you came through him, but it is now you. All kinds of manner of things. Some people will go through your wife. Some people will go through your in-laws. Some people will go through your father, all kinds of things. So it not behoves on you to sit down very well to listen. This kind of advice now, where will it lead me to? You have to think well. If you make the mistake which he made by saying that yes, I can do it alone, those who gave me support, I don't care, I don't need them. Those who didn't want you will come in. There's no way anybody who didn't want you to be in a position will want you to succeed. No.
So, Your Excellency, I'm sorry to interject. So, what if I hear you clearly, because Loretta Choma will be answering also. The mistake the governor made was trying to say he wants to do it by himself.
But he wanted to get and remember trying to set up his own structure as against the structure that built him. And it was too early. In fact, it did not take up to 100 days. We saw it. We said something must be fundamentally wrong. Well, you see, like I've already said, that in politics, you have to be careful. There are those who want you to succeed and make it in. The opportunity that you are given is not everybody that has that opportunity. There are those who are not happy, who don't want you to be there. And you have to be very careful. Remember, before I handed over to Fubara, we did a church service of All Saints Cathedral, Rumokosi. And I did say, you have been elected. Few days to come, you'll be sworn in. Now, what do you want to achieve? See where I have stopped. My thinking is that we do need to compete with Lagos. We have laid the foundation. You should be able to continue from there. We'll give you all the necessary support. But listen, in this game, you have your schoolmates, you have your village relations, you have all kinds of manner of people. There are those who will mean well for you, there are those who do not mean well for you. Now, you just go to the office, somebody now comes, yes, he has tried to support you, but must you, must you be his name? Why not try now to put yourself and let people know that it is you. Yes, you came through him, but it is now you. All kinds of manner of things. Some people will go through your wife. Some people will go through your in-laws. Some people will go through your father, all kinds of things. So it not behoves on you to sit down very well to listen. This kind of advice now, where will it lead me to? you have to think well. If you make the mistake which he made by saying that yes, I can do it alone, those who gave me support, I don't care, I don't need them. Those who didn't want you will come in. There's no way anybody who didn't want you to be in a position will want you to succeed. No.
So, Your Excellency, I'm sorry to interject. So, what if I hear you clearly, because Loretta Choma will be answering also. The mistake the governor made was trying to say he wants to do it by himself.
But he wanted, yes, and remember, trying to set up his own structure as against the structure that built him. And you know, it was too early. In fact, it did not take up to 100 days. We saw it. We said something must be fundamentally wrong. Forget about people who say, oh, they are putting pressure to bring money and this. Look.
Were you asking him for money, Your Excellency?
Sometimes, you know what in politics is that the moment you disagree on issue, the only thing you can use to get the support of the people is that they are asking you for money. And we have to, I tell you severally. And you see, I never lost focus. As a minister, you have said here that Nigerians were astonished of you taking 31 days of commissioning and flag up, which no governor in this country has ever done it. But we were focused. I was not worried. But you see, he lost focus here. If it was money that we're asking for, we wouldn't have prevailed. All of say, look, this is a political group that worked hard. It will be too wrong now, too early, for anybody to give you this advice to say no. Look, what do I want? Minister of Federal Capital Country. Just like a governor, I present my own budget. The budget of this year is about 1.8 trillion. So I don't know what I want. What I wanted is, look, stabilize the place. Move on from where I stopped. I laid a very fantastic foundation. So we'll be able to compete with Lagos. Look, as I go to FCT, when FCT was collecting monthly as IGR was 8 billion naira monthly. But as I speak to you today, we have hit up to 40 billion naira a month. 8 billion naira every month. But as we came on board, we have hit up to 40 billion naira. That is people who want to work, who want to achieve results. So his mistake led to where today it is too far. The difference between where Lagos is too far.
Okay,
Your Excellency, you publicly noted that there is no sin in politics with regards to Governor Fubara's return to his political family. Now, does this mean that all the allegations of financial misconduct, parallel local government structures, and institutional damage during the peak of the crisis, does it mean that it has all been forgiven and swept under the carpet?
Thank you very much. First of all, when I said no sin. Why I say no sin? Because sins are related to committing sins against what God said, and it's only God that forgives sin. But making mistake is a natural thing. And if you make a mistake and you realize that you made a mistake, you retrace your step, obviously there will be peace, there will be unity. Like you said here, in making peace, he must come out to try to make peace. If the government has to look, everything, just, you see, mind you, impeachment is a political tool. Impeachment is a political tool. If you are fighting with somebody who has advantage of utilizing it, the person will dangle to your face, listen, if you don't do this, we are going to do this. And if you realize to say, look, what's the need for all this? Look, for the interest of the state, let me drop this. Let me work with people so we can move on for the interest of the state. Obviously, the other party, sincerely too, will say, look, who is suffering? If we go ahead with this, the state will continue to suffer. So give and take, okay, one piece for the interest of the state. So that means for the interest of the state, whatever offense he may have committed, for the interest of the state, peace and progress of the state, you don't need to go further. Okay. And like I said, impeachment is a political tool. Remember, where the executive and legislators working together, hardly will you hear anybody talk about impeachment. There's nobody that has not committed any impeachment. There's nobody in government, not one. Not one. There must be one mistake or the other. It's only when there's quarrel. This one dangles that political tool.
Your Excellency, will we continue on that trajectory? Andrew Femi, yes.
Just a quick follow-up. So, from watching...
Chibika Benjamin as presidential candidate is not a plus for Atiku Abubakar. But first of all, remember, he was governor, yeah? He couldn't protest the succession. Remember, he was a DG, he couldn't give the 125%. Remember, he was a grade A minister and became a DG. Mr. President didn't get 25% in 2020 election. So, there are so many reasons why he cannot. Take, for example, the vice presidential candidate of APC, of ADC, as we hear, is going to reach Amaechi. He came out from national television and said he was one of those who kicked out President Jonathan. He said so. You didn't want a South person to be completely staying as president. So what we will take is vice president. Listen, a South person was a president. You came out of national television, you kicked him out. Not to the second term. Fine. The South had lost that position. Now they have given you a vice president to replace the president that was lost. In which party is that? You see, it will be difficult to sell it. Now you are a minister. Can you tell the vast people what you did to improve? To say, yes, I'm in government. I'm influential in this government. What did we achieve under the administration that you served? That to not make them say, yes, while he was there, the state was able to get this, to get this, to get that. We believe, being the vice president, we should be able to get more. You must have to. Okay, look, why do I say it has never happened in the history of Rivers State? Never. Right from Obasanjo to Yaradua Jonathan to Buhari. People were close to Obasanjo. People were close to Buhari. People were close to Jonathan. Let anybody come out to tell me the kind of manpower development that we have had under the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as far as Rivers State is concerned. Look at the appointments. It has never happened in history. As I sit here, I can count them. Rivers people. Just look at what has happened. Under President Bola Amaechi, first of all, he summoned up courage to give Rivers State the federal capital minister. We're not close to him. There are those in this state who funded Obasanjo election. What did we get? There are those who funded Buhari, who supported Jonathan. What was the position we got? FCT minister, just like giving Rivers State another governor of his state. Look at appointments. If I tell you that today in this state, we can count over 8 people who are DGs or EDs of parastatals. I don't want to talk about membership. I don't want to talk about membership. It has never happened in the history of Rivers State. Now, if that is the case, how do you now come and tell me not to support somebody? Not only did he give us one of the topmost appointments, but they consider Rivers people in other positions of authority. You see, it's not enough for you to come and say, I'm a vice president candidate. We have no problem about that. Somebody must be. But what is the record? What is the report card? Under this man, today, you can drive to Pony. Under everybody, body road, both the body road have become politics. Any president that comes, I will do it. This one will scratch here, this one will scratch here, this one will scratch here. But this one came. You say, I'll fix it. There are things you cannot compare. You cannot. So, any Rivers person who is truly a Rivers person that loves himself or herself, that is sincere for the development of this state, there's no way you will say light and you say you go to darkness. It's not true. Because I don't understand why a vice president candidate will equal the president that will throw away. I've never seen anybody who has been as proud of coming as national to say what your own people were holding, that you threw it and say, come on, get out. You may have done it. You should be quiet about it. But when you take pride to say, I did it, then all of a sudden, what you are bringing to the south side is vice president. What's going to happen? So let them come and see that as a Rivers people. See what I got. South. When I was vice president, ask me as a minister, what did you bring to the state? And what did you bring? I will say as it is, and I will tell go and confirm. That's what we call, you see, dividends. We are supporting this person. It must not be what you have in your private pocket. Because only you cannot satisfy everybody. No. Look at the number of appointments. It is unbelievable.
Your Excellency, if I may come in.
Yes.
You had mentioned just in follow-up that Right Honorable Chibika Amaechi boasted that he and others kicked out former President Goodluck Jonathan. What is your current relationship with former President Goodluck Jonathan, citing that the Turaki-led camp just made him their own presidential candidate? What's your position and the relationship with him?
I've never had President Jonathan say he's running for election. I've never had. I've always told you that there are so many people with the forwardness of different degree of different categories. I think I must have uploaded the candidates this morning. Yes. So you go and tell who is the candidate and who is not a candidate. I still have a good relationship with Mr. President. We may not belong to the same camp. It's not that because we work together and therefore must belong to the same camp, no. But about relationship, there's nothing wrong. But about political ideology, where you belong, I have chosen where to be and by people. And we are benefiting from it very well. Very, very well. So we have no choice to begin to think alternatively. You do alternatively when you don't say anything coming to other people. No, nobody changes good thing. You continue with good thing. It's only when things are bad that I begin to say, let me go to the general area. Because let nobody tell us that the last person is running for vice president. He must have a report card. He must. You must.
Honorable Minister, you remain a member of the People's Democratic Party while serving as a high-profile minister in the All Progressive Congress cabinet. And with the 2027 general elections approaching, how long can you practically sustain this dual political identity before it becomes an irreconcilable conflict of interest for both parties, considering that you have said that River State will lock down votes for President Bola Tinubu come 2027, and then PDP, that you're a member of, is also pushing Sandiono as the presidential candidate. How are you going to reconcile?
Oh, simple.
Okay.
Simple. You are going to reconcile. They will know that if Tinubu will win, I will support Tinubu. I'm not saying that PDP has a crisis. You don't expect coming out from that crisis in one presidency. No. They are rebuilding the party. You are rebuilding the party. I'm a very objective person. Very objective.
So you stand your more of a placeholder?
Not a placeholder for who?
Okay.
It's done. It's running the election. See, let me tell you something. As a party, you must field a candidate. But that you feel candidate of them, you will win the election. See, we were injured. There were a lot of crises. And all you need to do is to start picking up from the sub-national before you talk about national. You have to put yourself in how do we win back some national assembly seats? How do we win back some state assembly seats and governorship? And then you plan. You know, the problem we have is that everybody thinks that the moment you have come out for election today, you must win an election. You have to take time to rebuild. The PDP has had crisis, and it will take us time to rebuild.
But, Honorable Minister, people would say that other parties, NDC is having crisis, ADC is having crisis, Labour Party is having crisis, but they are all fielding presidential candidates.
But they are feeling they are not going to win.
Now, who won't say it's anti-party?
No, there's nothing anti-party with you.
Right.
First, it's not anti-party. We all agree that. Yes, but you see, that's why to say the truth.